Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Jimmy Kimmel's show back on Sinclair and Nexstar thanks to viewer feedback. His show was suspended over Kimmel's comments in the wake of conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination. Disney announced the return of Jimmy Kimmel Live on Tuesday, but both Sinclair and Nexstar initially said they would not resume airing the program. Jimmy Kimmel's late-night talk show will return to ABC affiliates belonging to Sinclair and Nexstar after the two major network operators took his program off-air over his comments in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Kimmel was accused of being offensive and insensitive after using his program, Jimmy Kimmel Live, to accuse Donald Trump and his allies of capitalizing on the killing. Disney-owned ABC suspended the show last week following threats of potential repercussions from the Trump-appointed head of the Federal Communications Commission. Sinclair, which controls 38 ABC affiliates from Seattle to Washington, D.C., called on Kimmel to apologize to Mr. Kirk's family over the comments and asked him to make a meaningful personal donation to Turning Point USA, the nonprofit that the conservative activist founded. On Tuesday, Disney announced the return of the program after backlash to its suspension, but both Sinclair and Nexstar, which own more than 20% of ABC affiliates, initially said they would not resume airing the show. Kimmel criticized the ABC affiliates who preempted his show during his TV return, saying, "That's not legal. That's not American. It's un-American." 3 days later, the two major network operators announced that Jimmy Kimmel Live would return to their TV stations after the week-long boycott. The move came after Sinclair received thoughtful feedback from viewers, advertisers, and community leaders. In its statement, the company pointed to its responsibility as local broadcasters to provide programming that serves the interests of our communities, while also honoring our obligations to air national network programming. Nexstar, which controls 28 ABC affiliates from Kansas to New Orleans, said in a similar statement that it was airing content that is in the best interest of the communities we serve. Both companies said their decisions were not affected by influence from the Trump administration or anyone else. The president had criticized the program's return on Tuesday, writing on Truth Social that he can't believe ABC gave Kimmel his show back and hinted at further action. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who's not funny, and who puts the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? Mr. Trump wrote. He is yet another arm of the DNC, Democratic National Committee, and, to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal campaign contribution. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. During Kimmel's first show since being taken off air, the presenter said it was never my intention to make light of Mr. Kirk's death. "I don't think there's anything funny about it," he said as he choked up. "Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make." Speaking on Tuesday night's show, Kimmel said he understood why the remarks felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. New episodes of Jimmy Kimmel Live air Monday to Thursday, and Friday night's rerun will be of Tuesday's show, meaning viewers of Sinclair stations will be able to watch Kimmel's emotional return to the air. Jimmy Kimmel has been no stranger to controversy, triumph, or the fickle world of television politics. For nearly 2 decades, Jimmy Kimmel Live has thrived as ABC's late-night stalwart, navigating shifts in audiences, evolving humor, and the ever-volatile streaming landscape. But when his program was suddenly pulled from Sinclair and Nexstar's regional affiliates earlier this month, fans across America found themselves missing their nightly dose of comedy, politics, and candid celebrity interviews. The backlash was instant, fiery, and ultimately decisive. Now, thanks to relentless viewer feedback, the show is making a triumphant return to those networks, reigniting conversations not only about late-night television's place in the modern world, but also about the true power of the audience. The removal that sparked a firestorm. The saga began quietly enough. Sinclair Broadcast Group and Nexstar Media Group, two of the largest owners of local television stations in the country, announced scheduling adjustments that resulted in Kimmel's show being yanked from dozens of markets. The network cited a combination of local programming priorities and audience alignment strategies. But viewers saw through the corporate phrasing. In practice, it meant millions of households, particularly in smaller cities and towns, suddenly lost access to one of the most watched late-night shows. On social media, the response was immediate. Fans in Texas, Ohio, Arizona, and Florida took to X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook to voice their anger. A viewer in Dallas quipped, "What's late night without Jimmy roasting the politicians I see every day on the news? I don't need a rerun of Family Feud." Others went further, threatening to cut their cable packages altogether. Petitions sprang up overnight, with thousands of signatures demanding that Sinclair and Nexstar reinstate the program. Jimmy reacts. Kimmel, never one to shy away from addressing his audience directly, took to his own platform to acknowledge the situation. "Apparently, I've been cancelled," he joked in a short video posted online. "Not by ABC, not by Hollywood, but by the folks who think you'd rather watch Pawn Stars at midnight than me. And look, I love pawn shops as much as the next guy, but come on, give me a chance to tuck you into bed." The joke softened the sting, but beneath the humor was a genuine concern. Kimmel's team knew that syndication partners and affiliates play a crucial role in how a show thrives outside of streaming services. Without those broadcast pipelines, access shrinks dramatically, especially for older audiences who don't stream. The pressure mounts. Behind the scenes, Sinclair and Nexstar executives were stunned by the level of blowback. Viewer services departments were inundated with calls and emails. One Nexstar employee leaked that their hotline hadn't seen this much volume since the Super Bowl blackout years ago. Some stations even faced protests outside their local offices. Advertisers weren't blind to the uproar. A few national sponsors reportedly expressed frustration that their campaigns tied to Jimmy Kimmel Live were losing reach in key markets. The combination of viewer dissatisfaction and advertiser pressure created a perfect storm. Within days, Sinclair and Nexstar were in urgent talks with ABC about reinstating the show. The victory announcement. When the official word finally came, it was nothing short of celebratory. ABC released a statement thanking loyal viewers who voiced their passion for Jimmy Kimmel Live, and confirming that the show would resume airing on all Sinclair and Nexstar affiliates starting the following Monday. For fans, it wasn't just the return of a late-night staple, it was proof that their voices mattered. One fan in Phoenix tweeted, "This is people power. We brought Jimmy back." Another chimed in, "When's the last time we made TV execs back down this fast? Cheers to that." Kimmel himself addressed the return with his signature blend of gratitude and self-deprecation. "Well, thank you," he said during his first night back on those affiliates. Apparently, all it takes is a few thousand angry emails and some threats to stop watching local weather reports, and boom, I'm back. So to everyone who told Sinclair and Nexstar they'd rather watch me than reruns of Baywatch at midnight, I salute you. A larger conversation about late night. The incident also sparked bigger conversations in media circles. What does it say about late-night television that so many people fought for its presence on their local channels? In an era dominated by on-demand streaming, it was almost shocking to see traditional broadcast viewers rally so passionately. Media analysts suggested that Kimmel, like his peers Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon, has become more than just a source of entertainment. He's part of the nightly ritual for millions. His blend of political commentary, humor, and human moments, like his emotional monologues about family and healthcare, resonate in ways that TikTok clips or YouTube snippets can't fully capture. For many viewers, missing Kimmel meant missing a part of their daily connection to the cultural conversation. A win for fans and a lesson for networks. For Sinclair and Nexstar, the reversal became a cautionary tale. The lesson? Don't underestimate the bond between audiences and the personalities they trust. In chasing programming efficiencies or experimenting with new late-night options, the networks had overlooked the intangible value of tradition, habit, and loyalty. A Nexstar spokesperson admitted in a follow-up interview, "Viewer engagement was more intense than we anticipated. It's clear Jimmy Kimmel is an integral part of the nightly routine for many households. We're glad to welcome him back." Sinclair, meanwhile, framed the return as a demonstration of their commitment to listening to viewers. The statement rang hollow to some critics, but the end result spoke for itself. The show was back, and fans had won. Kimmel's next chapter. For Kimmel, this unexpected saga may have been disruptive, but it also reaffirmed his relevance. At a time when some question whether late-night TV can survive in its traditional form, this controversy proved that people still care deeply. In fact, the ordeal may even boost ratings in the short term, as lapsed viewers tune in to show support. On his return night, Kimmel ended his monologue with a wink. To all of you who emailed, called, or possibly threatened your local TV stations, thank you. I don't condone violence, but strongly worded letters? Keep writing those. Because without you, I'd probably be doing this show from a pawn shop. The audience roared, not just with laughter, but with a sense of shared victory. The moment underscored that while late-night hosts often appear as solitary figures behind a desk, their real power comes from the millions who choose to watch, night after night. Conclusion. Jimmy Kimmel's reinstatement on Sinclair and Nexstar affiliates is more than just a broadcasting decision. It's a testament to the bond between a host and his viewers. It highlighted the fragility of distribution deals in the ever-shifting media landscape, but also the enduring influence of passionate audiences. At a time when viewers often feel powerless against the tides of corporate media, this was a rare win. A reminder that feedback can, in fact, make a difference. For Kimmel's fans, the victory was sweet. For networks, the lesson was clear. And for Jimmy Kimmel himself, the whole ordeal became yet another story to fold into the rich, unpredictable tapestry of late-night television. Because in the end, as Kimmel himself might say, the people have spoken, and they'd rather laugh with him than sleep without him.